Far beyond the green forests and sparkling rivers stood the tallest mountain in the land. Its peak touched the clouds, and every animal dreamed of standing at its summit. They called it the Mountain of Dreams. Among those dreamers was a small turtle named Toby. Every day, he would gaze at the mountain and imagine what the world looked like from the very top. One morning, animals from every corner of the forest gathered at the foot of the mountain. A great climbing challenge was about to begin. When the animals saw Toby standing among the competitors, they burst into laughter. To them, a turtle had no chance of reaching the summit. But Toby wasn't there to prove anyone wrong. He was there to chase his dream. As the challenge began, he took his first step toward the mountain. The rabbit sprinted ahead. The deer raced up the trail. The horses charged forward with incredible speed. Within minutes, they had disappeared into the distance. Toby soon found himself alone on the trail. But he didn't worry about how far ahead the others were. He focused only on the next step. As the path became steeper and covered with rocks, every step grew more difficult. Yet Toby continued moving forward, one step at a time. Meanwhile, the rabbit's speed became his weakness. Rushing too quickly, he slipped on the rocks and tumbled down the trail. By sunset, Toby stopped to rest beneath a tree. He looked up at the distant summit. It still seemed impossibly far away. That night, under a sky filled with stars, doubt crept into his mind. For a moment, he wondered if the others had been right about him. But when the sun rose the next morning, Toby made a choice. He would not give up. He stood up and continued climbing. Soon dark clouds gathered overhead. Rain poured down the mountain. One by one, the other animals began to quit. The fox lost confidence. The horse grew tired. Even the rabbit decided to return home. Ahead lay the most dangerous part of the journey, a narrow cliff path with a deep valley below. One mistake could end everything. High above the forest, Toby climbed into the clouds. The air became colder, and the mountain seemed larger than ever before. Then, for the very first time, Toby saw the summit clearly. It was still far away, but now it felt possible. Exhausted and sore, Toby faced the final stretch. His legs ached. His body begged him to stop. But his heart told him to keep going. After days of effort, Toby finally reached the summit. The clouds drifted beneath him as he stood at the top of the Mountain of Dreams. Looking down, he saw forests, rivers, and valleys stretching far beyond the horizon. The view was more beautiful than he had ever imagined. A few days later, Toby returned to the forest. He wasn't carrying a trophy or a medal. He carried something far more valuable. The animals stared in disbelief. They couldn't understand how the slowest climber had become the only one to reach the summit. When they asked for his secret, Toby smiled and said, "I wasn't the fastest. I wasn't the strongest. I simply kept moving when others stopped." And so Toby became a legend throughout the forest. His journey taught everyone a lesson they would never forget. Success doesn't always belong to the most talented. It belongs to those who refuse to quit. Remember, slow progress is still progress. Every small step brings you closer to your goal. Keep moving forward, and one day, you will reach your own mountain peak.